Before we get into the review, I'd like to introduce you to our special guest, Hawkeye. Hi. Anyways, let's get on with the review, shall we? I gotta say, I really enjoyed this one. I agree, this was way better than WandaVision. I think this is the best show I've ever watched. I mean, wasn't the best, but it was alright. What do you mean alright? I loved every second of it. I mean, it was good, but I feel like there are some things that were kind of disappointing. Yeah, maybe like a fair few. Then, what was so disappointing about it? First of all, you retired at the end of Endgame, but for some reason you came back to drama. Well, he did that for an understandable reason, because Christmas was about to be terrorized in New York, and he couldn't let that happen. Besides, none of the other heroes or Avengers or even Daredevil were in New York, so who else can stop Christmas from being terrorized? Thank you, someone understands.
Well, what about Kate? She was there.
Yeah, but she needed training in order to become the new Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I also didn't really like what they did with Kingpin either. Yeah, I feel like Kingpin was a little bit disappointing. At least they didn't recast him. Otherwise he would be ruined even more. Yeah, but the problem is he wasn't as brutal as he was in the Daredevil show. And he wasn't as angry as he was in the Daredevil show either. Honestly, I kinda wish this show was rated R, so he can be that person again. But this show takes place during Christmas. So, that doesn't mean he can't be rated R. Trust me on this, Hawkeye. When movies or shows are rated R, they'll be way more epic and exciting. Yeah, I guess you're right. And the way Kingpin was fighting in this show was not the same as he did in the Daredevil show. Yeah, all he ever does in his fight with Kate is just push her away from him and just walk away. If Kingpin was the same character as he was in the Daredevil show, Kate wouldn't stand a chance. Another problem I have with the show is that, alongside Moon Knight, this show only had 6 episodes. Okay, I'll agree with you on that. I feel like all of the shows that only have 6 episodes mostly deserve to be movies. Well, some of them, at least.
One thing I did like about the show is definitely the action.
I agree. I am at least glad that Hawkeye still got his skills. And I'm glad that the creators didn't forget that Hawkeye has trick arrows. I also did like the introduction of a new character called Echo. Yeah, but it kinda confused me how she's like a family member to Kingpin. I found that kinda questionable. I also knew that Yelena Belova was gonna be in this because of the ending of Black Widow. I think we all knew that. Speaking of Yelena, I think her conversation with Kate was pretty funny. And the fight between them was even funnier. I also did like the new character called Jack, who is Kate's stepfather. He was a really great character. Speaking of Jack, one thing I've heard from Google and from my best friend is that this character is actually the comic book character called Swordsman. Really? I've never known that. Well, it was kinda obvious since he did use a sword. And it was also obvious because his real name is Jack DeQuence, although his real name in the comics is Jackus DeQuence. There's literally no difference between those names. I know, it's what I'm saying. I also did kind of like the musical that Clint and his family were watching in the first episode. I think it's called The Rogers Musical. It was a pretty good song. Yeah, but one thing I didn't really like about this song is that when the Avengers appeared on stage, they sang that the Hulk is incredible, smashing things up while Iron Man takes to the sky, Captain America is strong, Thor is a god, Black Widow is a knockout who can knock you out, and when Ant-Man flies you won't hear a sound. But all they ever sang about me is that Hawkeye is cool, like a really nice guy. That's it. They didn't sing about my skills or anything.
Even I don't know why they didn't do that. You seem to have a very good set of skills.
Yeah, but many people of the internet keep saying that I'm useless. And I guess the creators of the Rogers musical think that I am too. Hey, at least you're very good at aiming. I suck at it. Besides, the Captain America actor did sing that there's no better shot than you. Yeah, I guess. Anyways, I think that'll be it for the review. I'm gonna rate this show a 6.9 out of 10. And now, let's find out what show we're gonna review next.
The next show we'll be reviewing is...
The Book of Boba Fett. Yes, finally we are reviewing another Star Wars project. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like. But if you like this channel, please subscribe. See you next time.